My name is Ashley Stratton, and I really like country music because it's about real life. For that reason, I thought it'd be fitting to do the song Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning by Alan Jackson, which is a song about 9/11, a real life event. The video I chose is his first ever performance of this song at the 2001 CMA Awards, only 8 weeks after 9/11 occurred. The first category is music and affective experience, so I'll start with music. The instruments that I hear are the guitar, which Alan Jackson is holding with him front and center the whole time, which is a symbol of country music. And then from the band behind him, I can hear a very strong violin, keyboard, and I can hear the mandolin even coming through at times. I'll actually play the intro quickly just because it's a good representation of the whole song. And it's almost has a little bit of a haunting feeling I find that it provides. The rest of the things I want to note for the music category is that it is a male voice that you hear the whole time. There is a bit of a female background singer, but she's pretty quiet for the most part. It is a very structured song. You have your chorus, verse, bridge, and outro, which is very typical for this style of music, which is country music. The melody is very gentle and simple, and it really gives you the chance to contemplate the lyrics and like think about what's actually being said. Well, at least that's what I do when I hear it. And there is a metrical rhythm, strict underlying rhythm that is quite slow in this case. The lyrics are very narrative, and that's what I mean when I say that country music is about real life, is it tells a story. And in this case, the song actually asks you questions. It says, where were you when the world stopped turning? For example, were you in the yard with your wife and children, or were you working on a stage in LA? It lets the listeners like reflect on what they were doing that day. And Alan Jackson in general in his lyrics shares a lot about his faith. Like there's one Bible verse he actually uses in his song that says, faith, hope, and love are some good things he gave us, and the greatest is love, and that's one of the main lines in this song. There's also some lyrics that are quite patriotic, referring to the red, white, and blue. But in general, this whole piece is memorized. He knows all the words, and there's no like sheet music anywhere or anything, so the band all knows what they're doing as well. For the affective experience, this performance has an emotional impact that provokes feelings of sadness and loss and grief and remembrance, but it also has feelings of hope and strength as it highlights how humans can heal after such a tragic event. And when I listen to this song, I feel sad, but I also feel a bit uplifted, as it highlights like that all we need in life is like faith, hope, and love. Like it's a nice message. But when I listen to it, I'm able to feel a little bit of maybe what Americans felt that day, and kind of feel some of their sadness. Second category is performance and performers. So obviously the main performer is Alan Jackson. He's front and center, the spotlight's on him, and then his band is all in the back, but there's not a lot of lights on them, and they're all dressed in black, as to blend in. And then he's wearing your typical country outfit. He has a cowboy hat, a button-up shirt, few buttons undone. He has his collar flared out. He's wearing a western jacket, and then he's wearing jeans with holes in them and cowboy boots. And then the jeans with the holes in them, I think, is a bit of a nod to his humble beginnings. Like he didn't really come from much, and that's a theme I've noticed with a bunch of country singers. But also, if you didn't even know that previously, if you're just looking at him, it's like he wants to just prove that he's an American just like everyone else. He's a normal person, and he's affected by the tragedy just like everybody else. A bit about the performance. Like I said, it was the 2001 CMA Awards, which is a very professional event, so a very formal setting. There's not really any audience engagement other than a little bit of acknowledgement of their cheers and clapping at the end. Third category is time and space and memory and history. Time and space, this performance occurred on November 7th, 2001 at the Grand Ole Opry House in Nashville, and like I said, just 8 weeks after the 9/11 attack. And the song was written by Alan Jackson to reflect and respond on the 9/11 tragedy, and it serves as a reminder of the impact of terrorism and the importance of coming together as a nation during a time of crisis. It would have been broadcasted all over America by NBC, and the song was very welcomed and did very well because of what was going on politically and socially, and it served as comfort for Americans. The fourth and final category is audience and community. So looking at the performance itself, there is a live audience. They'd be made of mostly industry professionals who were invited and are there to have a good time. They're all dressed up. They're ready to see who's winning the awards and who's performing and everything. There'd also be Americans at home watching this on TV. But then in general for the song, there is an intended audience, which is Americans affected by 9/11. There'd also be an unintended audience, which is anybody in any country that's affected by a tragedy and needs a reminder that love still exists even when something so dark and so sad happens. I think another unintended audience could be young people, as this song is educational for them about what happened that day. For community, there's references to God, Jesus, and the Bible, so I think Christians is like the religious group, and then the song is also definitely for like American citizens because they share this tragedy, and there's a reference to the pride of the red, white, and blue.